Believe it or not, the place I'm called is Paradise. That's literally the name. That is the Mackenzie River. I am Tobin, and Coniferous is all around me. That mountainside there is full of Douglas fir. Stirling Soap, one of my favorites. I'm scooping from the top there. I'll show you real quick my newest scooper from Ian Lagaki, aka The Last Shadow. Look at this baby. Comes with a little wood stand. If I remember, I'll put it in the photos, but I will be doing a review of it. You can see my soap on it there. So this is a shield here that protects against like bad luck and spirits and stuff like that. It was just a cool little emblem that he threw on there. And then a Celtic knot. You can kind of see it with my soap on there. I do eventually plan on talking about this or showcasing it somehow from the den. As a hard maple handle, literally made from scratch by my good friend Ian Lagaki, and I did pay for this one, and I couldn't be happier with it. And it's a steal. He should be charging a lot more for what he does. I just thank you, Ian. Love you long time, brother. I really do. I just finished applying the Tube 2.0. That's the Preshave from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Captain Choice Bowl, I've already scooped into it. Basically use that tomahawk axe like a large guitar. Ton of fun. And I actually just used it for the first time. I got it yesterday in the mail. Today's Sunday. The what, 21st now? 22nd? Something. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing extremely well. This fragrance, I love it. Like, easy for me, a 9 or a 10. I love it. Let's talk about what my wife and daughter think. And what my wife and daughter says about it totally makes sense. So, first let me give you the scent profile. It's real simple. Scots pine, fir needle, Texas cedarwood, and lichen. We'll talk about lichen here in a minute. So this fragrance is just a blend of essential oils. It's straight up essential oils from these, 4 things, right? Scots pine, fir needle, Texas cedarwood, and lichen, yeah. It smells so damn good. It really does. So the wife and daughter, as like a standalone fragrance, they give it a 9 or a 10. They debate back and forth. Now, where the exception comes in at is as a cologne or perfume. And I think Rod and Mandy, the artisans at Stirling Soap in Arkansas, it might be something that they think too, because I noticed that on their website you can get this fragrance in just about everything except for the EDT and the solid cologne. They don't offer coniferous in those 2 products, but they have the bath bar, the conditioner, all that stuff. As a fragrance on me, my wife gives it a 5. Emily only gives it a 3, but they absolutely love the fragrance, if that makes sense. So it's something I've talked about before, whether or not a fragrance is wearable, and then if it is, when and where. So for my wife and daughter, the opportunities seem to be limited. For me, like, I don't know that I would wear it to church. I would wear it to work. I don't know if if you have, like, I'm a transit operator. I drive a city bus, basically, if you don't know. So I would wear it to work. If you have like an office job or something like that, maybe not. But one thing I really do like about this fragrance is that after about 4 hours, it really begins to fade. And really after an hour or 2, the fade begins, and it doesn't last. I mean, you could put this on first thing in the morning, and if you leave the house an hour or so later, I don't see any reason why you couldn't apply a different cologne or something like that, because there's not a lot of projection, and beautiful lather. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. There's not a lot of projection. It's close to the body, and I love it. It's masculine, it's fresh, it's real. Like one of the things both my girls said, it smelled, this was my wife. My wife said it legit, that was her words, it legit smells like the real thing. And that's because it's just simply made with real essential oils from those 4 things. Let me do my little man bun. So I'm using the Silvertip synthetic fibers in my black Semogue brush. Had it for a few weeks now and I've been using it. I'll eventually get around to doing a full review of this. It whips up a gnarly lather. Water bottle hanging from the tree. I've got you guys hanging from a tree, a bungee cord to my tripod, and then right here. So right over here is a tree. No mirror. I was trying to set up a mirror, but it kept being wonky on me, so we're going without a mirror today. My wife and Luna are around here somewhere. They went for a walk. We've been up here for a few hours playing, hanging out. And did I already say? I'm pretty sure I did. This place is called Paradise. That's the McKenzie River, and we're way up in the Willamette National Forest. Driving on the highway about a half an hour east of Blue River Reservoir, where I did Rabbit Fighter from and other fragrances. I love going to Blue River because it's just so hard to run into people. And it's beautiful, but going there, you know, with Luna and just, I like to get away from it all. It's always been one of many appeals for me with the outdoors, but getting away has always been one of the biggest things for me. We haven't seen any people. Could have swore I heard a voice a second ago. Just tripping. The razor I have with me is the #1 selling DE razor on Amazon. Talked about it a little bit before. It is, I believe, called Bolmica is the name of the company. I did a first impressions with it. I'll be doing a full review of it. I'm going to kick off a razor series similar to how I've been doing the brush series, just straightforward. With all of these, I want to, when possible, do like a first impression, do a video where I use the product, and then do a review. A couple of my first ones will be this one, and then those 2 Goodfella Smile razors you might have seen me use. So on the website, on Amazon, it's only $9.99, and there's like a 10% coupon. It says this is an aluminum alloy, and that then this is a, what is it, alloy? I don't know, but they're both like some kind of Zamac. It is metal. The blade gap is a whopping 0.035 of an inch. For those who aren't familiar with blade gaps, to give you a point of reference, the blue tip on a Gillette Super Speed is a 0.020, as is the 1950s and 60s ball end Gillette Tech. The regular flare tip and the pre-war or peri-war is what I call it, Gillette Tech is a 0.025, and then the red tip Super Speed is a 0.030. So the blade gap on this is even larger than that of a red tip. Now I've measured the head up against a 1950s ball-end Gillette Tech, and it is the exact same head. The only difference is the gnarly blade gap. The tolerances are pretty good. It comes with 10 blades. That's not what I have in it. What I have in it today is a Gillette Silver Blue. It comes with 10 blades. I've used 2 of them. Neither one of them did I push for a second use. They're not the worst blades ever, but they're certainly not the best. And because of that gnarly blade gap, This thing is pretty damn efficient. Like with that blade gap, I'm not comfortable putting anything more aggressive in it than like a Gillette Silver Blue or a Gillette Platinum. Certainly not a Feather or a Kai. You'd have to be really careful. I actually got myself with one of the blades that it came with when I used it yesterday. I've shaved with it, I don't know, 5 or 10 times now, somewhere around that. Break down this pretty simple, straightforward fragrance. On the sales page, I'll put it right up here, or I'll put it right down here somewhere. I don't want to block that beautiful view. They have the scent description, but then I love it the way that Rod and Mandy describes this fragrance. It's like you go out into the woods and 2 trees jump you and hold you down while the 3rd tree beats the stuffing out of you, as I believe the word they use. And then just for good measure, that tree takes like a handful of moss and shoves it in your mouth. Something like that's what it says, right? I've read it a couple of times. I like it. I even had to read it to my wife. I liked it so much. Beautiful lather. Look at that. Between that Stirling Soap base and the Tube 2.0, just looking at the camera, it looks pretty damn good. I am happy with this brush. Did I say 50 bucks? And I bought it from Bullgoose. 3 different colors. You got that butterscotch, the Taj, which is like an off creamy white, it's the color of the Taj Mahal, and then this ebony. Scots pine. Here in America, we do have it in the Northeast, but it's not native to this continent. It's from Western Europe. They introduced it here like in the 1600s, and it's considered an invasive species. I don't know that I've ever actually seen one. I maybe have. My understanding, you really don't have any out west here in the Pacific Northwest where I am. But my understanding of the fragrance is, I need to buy an essential oil of it and experience it. I need to remember to do that. The Scots pine is a fresh, sharp, slightly minty, evergreen fragrance. And I do detect, I always try and stay out of you guys' view of the river. I like to watch my videos on my TV, my outdoor videos, and the smart TV at home, and I use, the built-in YouTube app. And I enjoy watching my own videos on the TV. And so even for myself, when I watch this later, hey Tobin, how you doing? Future Tobin, this is past Tobin, saying, what do you think of that view, man? And I do pick out like a slight mintiness in the top of this, and then we back that up immediately with the fir needle. Everything's kind of going on at once. Well, the top 3 are kind of going on at once, and then that lichen kind of sneaks in, giving it a good grounding to it, some depth. With the fir needle, think Christmas tree with a slight citrusy. So the opening of this, you're getting this nice piney freshness with hints, slight minty, citrusy hints here and there. Beautiful summer day, beautiful early spring day out here. God, this smells so damn good. I freaking love it. Years ago, Aaron Hall, a member of the community, he sent me a soap sample of it, and I loved it immediately. He sent me a sample of that in Evergreen Forest, and I'd been meaning to buy them for the longest time. I finally got around to buying this a few months back probably now. I'm so glad I did. I freaking love it. I need to get the bath bars and the shampoo. The Texas Cedarwood. Oh, brother. It adds warmth. It's adding that depth that I was talking about, that the lichen also adds to it. It rounds out those top 2 notes perfectly. If I were to describe this fragrance, I wrote it down, my thoughts of it. Fresh, woody, and real. My wife used the word legit and masculine. And when I smell this at home, it conjures up so many memories of the outdoors. See how fast I can do a third pass. About 15 minutes. I'm gonna get a nice close shave so I don't have to worry about it going into work tomorrow at the start of the new work week. Did I tell you I love this brush? I don't know if it'll ever be my favorite, but I'm really glad I bought it. I love it. It's hard to be my favorite when I have like 80 synthetics. So Lichen. It's not moss. Two main differences between lichen and moss. Moss is a plant. Lichen is not. Lichen is a fungus, and it's actually what they call symbiotic. It's where it's a fungus and it like lives with algae, and so it gets a lot of its moisture and nutrients from the algae. And both the algae, because it's symbiotic, means that all the organisms benefit. And so lichen is not moss, but what it is by itself is earthy and woody. And if you've ever like gone into a wet forest and that smell that you get, a lot of times that's from things like the lichen. They're releasing all these molecular hydrocarbons, and that's so it's filling the air. Just like a lot of us are familiar with the term petrichor, and that's like, you know, the smell after a rain. This is slightly blade positive when it comes to exposure, but not bad. I got myself. Lichen is safe to handle. I don't know that I'd be putting my fingers in my eyes after touching it, but it ain't gonna hurt you. I've had people try and tell me that it is. I've messed with it my entire life. In fact, I'm gonna mess with it right now. So, moss grows in damp, foresty areas. This is a tree branch that I plucked from right over here. So here we have moss. This is a different type of moss. I forget the name of it. And then this here is lichen. And it comes in all different colors, shapes, and sizes. Here's another type. Look at this. This one's black on one side, and I think this is like the dying side of it. And then over here is kind of like this green color. So moss and lichen have similarities, but they're not the same. Moss is a living plant. Lichen is basically a fungus. It is a fungus. That's my understanding. Damn fine shave. Not bad. Standing on uneven ground, using a $9 and like 10-cent razor. One of my favorite blades, the Gillette Silver Blue. Not the best lighting, but as you can see, I got a damn fine shave from that little razor. I don't know though that I'd recommend it for a brand new wet shaver, just because if 5 is average for aggressive efficiency, I put it, you know, with the Gillette Silver Blue, I put it around a 6. It's a little more than aggressive, but because of that blade gap, a new wet shaver is likely to get themselves with it, because that is a fairly large blade gap, 0.035 of an inch, bigger than the red tip. Nearly twice as big as a ball-in Gillette Tech at 0.020. I forget the millimeters, 0.635 or something. Damn metric system. God's country. There's my water bottle. Hold still. steady, Betsy. I was looking for this. How you doing? Got a giveaway coming up, courtesy of Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. That'll be a deodorant and a soap set. And then keep an eye out too for a cool giveaway that I'm excited about with Hendrix Classics. Pete is going to be giving away a shave brush, and I'll do that in one of my shave videos, and you guys will actually, the winner will get to choose their shave brush. He's got like 8 different handles now and 5 or 6 different knots. That's the, did I say, the Alum Bot from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Solid piece of alum. I don't know that this thing's ever going to wear out. I always say it, if I was at home, I'd let this sit while I clean my gear. I'd rinse out my brush and I'd rinse off the razor, and then I would apply the splash. But for the sake of the video, we're just going to go right to it. If you've never used alum, I recommend using it. Some people are sensitive to it. My understanding is it's not as much of an allergy as it is just a sensitivity. So if you have any problems after using it, stop using it. But it's like a very small percentage of people that ever have problems with it. I use it for the astringent properties, and I can tell the difference when I don't use it. Not always, but like half the time. If I don't use it, my skin is more red than it already is. And with my gingery skin, I really personally benefit from using alum. I can't get enough of this fragrance. Oh my gosh. I wish my wife and daughter liked it on me more. But like I was saying though, especially after I get done applying the Mysterium Serum, my wife still isn't back yet, but by the time we get in the car and start heading south, or west rather, it won't be noticeable. It's not a strong fragrance. And that giveaway with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements will also be the winner's choosing. So you'll get to choose the deodorant and the soap set. And I'll probably kick that giveaway off next weekend. Maybe even both of them. See how things go. Mysterium Serum, my go-to post-shave balm from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Love this stuff. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I still haven't tried Scots Pine. That if you want just like a pine fragrance, they recommend that you try that. I really like the Evergreen Forest. That's pretty piney, but it's not always available. Some little big things, my friends. For me, you're looking at it. I wish I could just be like a mountain man and live off of berries and hunt, you know, like Grizzly Adams. You guys old enough to remember that TV show, Grizzly Adams? Haven't seen that in forever. That was a damn good show. Maybe even a little squirt. That's the Bulmica razor on Amazon. I won't profit from the sale of that. I'm not an affiliate with Amazon or anything like that. If you guys want a good little travel razor, that, I missed a spot right there. That's pretty darn efficient. $9.10 on Amazon. It comes in a bunch of different colors too. Blades aren't the best, but hey, what are you gonna do? Hey man, we're under 25 minutes. It's gonna be a little longer than that by the time I finish rambling and add a few photos. Oh, and the B-roll. With that, I wish you guys a great week. Thanks for joining me out here. Stay safe. Take care. I cannot tell you guys just how much I love the McKenzie River. Thanks for sticking around for the B-roll. It's my favorite river in the whole world right there. So blessed to live here. If I didn't already say, when it comes to Blue River Reservoir, I'm going to pan out. We're about 20 to 30 minutes up the highway from the exit that we would normally take from there. And all these giant rocks. Steady now. Show you guys my setup. Just gorgeous. I'd love to build a house right here. So, set up on this little Doug here, Douglas fir. Tripod hanging from a bungee. Took photos on this log that we put moss on from another spot and brought it to the river. And this is actually a camp spot. My wife and Luna are off on a walk. And so we are officially in what's called Paradise Campground. I want to thank you guys for joining me. It really is little big things. Tomorrow's Monday and I want to avoid it, but I can't. Such is life, right? You guys take care and I'll see you next time.